Hiya, welcome to the Introduction to Operations Management. This is the presentation that you should have had in your first week in the tutorial classes. So if you didn't make it or you want to recap, this is what this kind of about 10-minute presentation should help you understand what the basics are. The first thing is, well, what is the point of the module? What is it all about? Well, it is all about using management, and in particular operations management, how businesses actually do things, produce goods and services in order to improve performance. And that means kind of performance to the customer, but also financial performance, which is what we're trying to look for, the link between how businesses are successful. So this is some of the comments that we've had from previous years. We've run the module for 5 or 6 years now, and overwhelmingly students find it interesting. So we hope that you will also find the study that we're doing interesting, and hopefully you will have not done anything like this before, but it should link in to the other subjects that you've studied, like marketing and HR in particular. First question, how do we assess the module? It's individual and it's a report around about 3,000 words. However, split into 2 bits. You submit the first week, the first part 1 we call it, halfway through the module, about week 6, and part 2 is submitted in week 14, which is the last week prior to the Christmas breakup. Both of those deadlines are at Monday, 9 o'clock, so you've got Saturday, Sunday to graft, and Sunday night to get it finished. The details. The first part is 500 words. It's only a small part because most of the work that you'll be doing in that part is to do with constructing diagrams and what we call process maps. The second part is a much more academic piece of work, 2,500 to 3,000 words, not 30,000 I've noticed there. You can use pictures, tables, diagrams, etc. And data from the case, and you can also use lecture slides to adapt into diagrams, and we'll talk more about that later in the module. No appendices. If it's not worth having in the report, it's not worth having at all, and it's submitted via Extreme, via Turnitin. Why do we split it? Well, as you can read that yourself, but it's basically saying that it helps spread your workload in the module, and also because the assessment case is what we call a multimedia case, and you cannot do it the night before. So it enables you and motivates you to get into the case material before the final deadline, and spreads the risk of the assessment burden as well. So as I mentioned, it is a multimedia case. What we've done there is we go to real business and we say, have you got any problems? Can we help you resolve some of your operational performance issues? How can we help you be more successful? They give us access to the business, and we give them the best of the student reports and also some tutor advice, because we mark all yours. So the case consists of pictures, a video of what goes on in the business. We interview key members of staff there. They usually have a website. We have lots of internal data that you can use to analyse, looking at some of the themes that we're going to cover. So it's like visiting the business, but obviously we've got 800 people, we can't all visit the business, so we construct this kind of virtual case study in Blackboard and Extreme, and we give you a DVD as well to help you get to grips with the complex reality. When you start a business career, nobody gives you a little handy little 2-page case study on what you should be doing. You have to go and find out for yourself. So that's one of the purposes of having the type of assessment. Some student comments. It is not easy. It is challenging, but as the comments there say, you're not a university for an easy ride. We do the best reports to the business. We have some certificates, some prizes for innovative, creative, and handy analytical pieces of work, etc. So they are really good for your CV, because not everybody that's competing for jobs will have, if you get in that category, will have that to be able to talk about what they've done as part of their studies. Housekeeping. We have a tutorial swap swap, so you can look at the details in your orange book. Basically, we allow people to a certain degree to swap classes if they need to between the class that's been allocated and another class. But you have to go in via Blackboard, via Extreme, and make sure that there are spaces in the class that you want to go to. And we limit the number of people, so we're not having lots of people swapping all the time. But we ran this last year and it was very successful, and enables you to, if you have something else that means you can't attend your class, to make sure you don't miss out. We've given you as much as we can in printed form in the orange book. The idea is that you bring that to lectures and tutorials. If you lose it, we do have occasionally some left, but we have a lot of students on the module this year, so try not to lose it. If you do lose it, you can download the material that's in it from Extreme. In there is all the lecture notes you'll need, but they're only skeleton notes, so the idea is that you have to come to the lecture to fill in the gaps, so that A, to help you not fall asleep in the lectures, and secondly to motivate you to turn up, and to limit the size of the book for a number of reasons. There's also the case studies that we use. At the start of the module, we use caselets, which are very small cases, and we move to larger cases as we get through the semester, to kind of get you up to the point where you can deal with the complexity of the big case, which is in the assessment. Teaching scheme, so that is there to tell you what the theme is each week, what the topics are, what the homework is, and what additional resources might be available to you, which chapters to read, etc. The course is highly integrated with Extreme. In fact, you can only access the assessment, most of the assessment material in Extreme. You can only submit in Extreme. There's a lot of extra resources in Extreme, so you need to make sure that you are connected and familiar, especially because we've moved to a new version of Extreme this year. We will send you a weekly email update telling you anything that you need to know about what's been happening each week in the module, what's coming up, reminders, etc. We also run a Twitter feed for those people that want additional kind of communication in terms of things that crop up that I think are useful and helpful towards doing well in the assessment and understanding a particular topic as we move through the semester. Generally, we have about 80 to 100 people that follow that each year. It's not for everybody, but you're welcome to log on if that's what you want to do. What should you read? We have every year we customise a book just for the module. This year is no different. We take the best of the books that are available, and because we don't teach the whole of the subject, we decide what the key things are we're going to teach, and we remove the content from the book. So what's in the book is what you need to know, and you're not paying for stuff that you don't need to know. It means that we can say that you don't have to reference anywhere else, because all the concepts that you're going to use are contained in the core textbook. All the Ops books are the same, in a sense they cover the same material, because it's in level 5, where you not need to be looking for advanced references, and we'd rather you read the textbook properly than go searching off for dubious and spurious internet resources, tutor4u.net and all that kind of stuff. You can buy from the Blackwell's bookshops in the library. The print run is much less than the people on the module, so don't leave it till the end of the semester to buy one if you want to buy a book. And the finally good news is that it only costs 27 quid, because we have reduced the material in there and we print it in black and white, not colour. So that enables us to offer it to you at a good price. Bear in mind that I make no money from this. I am not the author, I am just merely the compiler. So it's got my name on the front, but I receive no benefit whatsoever, apart from the satisfaction of more people reading the book. How do we organise the learning and the teaching? And you notice that learning comes first, not teaching. We have, hopefully, we have interactive lectures. We allow different members of the module team to give some of the lectures as well, so we have some sort of guest lectures going on. The tutorial follows the lecture the previous week. So in week 1 we do theme 1, and in week 2 we do, in the tutorial we go over theme 1, etc. It's heavily based on the customized text. All the tutorials are activity based, so the idea is that you, in the tutorial, you'll be doing some work. It will not be a repeat of the lecture at all. And those exercises are different things. Sometimes they're small cases, sometimes we have a game, sometimes we do role play, etc. You don't have to read the case before you come to the class, apart from when we get later on into the semester, and there are some in the Orange Book tells you, and your tutor will remind you which weeks require a bit more preparation. Obviously, if you do read it and look at the questions before, that will help you, but it's not essential. There are some unique events going through the tutorial scheme, and your tutor will remind you, and we will remind you with weekly updates about what those things are. Homework, there is. The first homework is what we call a wiki glossary, and that is a module requirement. You have to do that. If you don't do that, you won't get access to the assessment or the assessment submission. So you're kind of done if you can't do that. If you can't do that, game over. So the idea is that you submit a piece of work, a small glossary entry. So we give you a term to explain what, say, batch size means in 50 words or less. You have to have a couple of references. You post it in Extreme, and we give it a grade, but it's not goes towards your final mark. It's just an access grade, tell you whether we think it's suitable or not. And you have a couple of weeks to do that in the first 2 weeks. It's designed to get you into researching the subject, and we use the resource later on so you can go back and refer to what people have written. And generally people find it quite useful. Finally, what support can you expect? The main support mechanism is your tutor. That's your tutorial tutor, the person that you see for the hour-and-a-half class each week. And they should give you your contact details. Sorry, their contact details. They're also listed in Extreme along with the biography of who they are and what they've done in the past. In class, we will give you assessment help. There's a lecture on the assessment in a few weeks' time. There is a surgery time, so in that class nearer the assessment week before, you can bring your draft work and we can give you feedback on that. For the second part, there's a bit more. In class there's a past paper review as well, and there's some surgery time after teaching finishes in week 13. There's lots of help available in Extreme as well. There's lots of standard resources, so internet links, answers. We give the answers out to the tutorial exercises at the end of the week, along with a blog which is a commentary on what the answers actually mean, etc. In addition, towards the assessment, we have little podcasts, so they are a kind of assessment lecture broken down into small bits, so you can listen to it while you're doing the assessment prior to it going on. Frequently asked questions. We've got a little video that tells you how to construct diagrams in a report. We've got, for part 1, we've looked at some past papers, and we can give you a screencast to show you what's good and what's bad about what people have done before. And we've also got some additional things in there, the answers, criteria, and what we call lecture snippets, which are small videos a bit like this about what the lectures have been about, kind of baby lectures if you like. And finally, some quotes from some students that have done the module before. And the reason for showing you this is for you to have confidence that the module is organised, and that we are able to orientate people to produce, if you like, good quality work. Pass rate's about 96%. So do not be alarmed. It's challenging, but we are there to help you do well. We all want to see people do as well as they possibly can in the module.